Well, the Dharma, that is to say, the body of spiritual teachings, and that includes all traditions, by the way, all practicing beings, and those who follow, let's say, the inner law of balance and peace, finding peace. Choosing peace, it's a deeper state over neuroses, which is a middling sort of like state of where people get caught up in self-divisive programming or confusion. Right. So we have the Dharma that is available to everyone. In fact, it is stated that it is everyone, but how can the ordinary person find access to what they is? So in the traditions it is taught, the esoteric traditions taught, devotion to the Guru. See, or the teacher or the guide. Could be a person a step above you, but you see they could be in the function of a mentor because they're representing the teachings in a certain way. So you see maybe a calmness, a clearness in them that you haven't attained yet, and you feel they're working on it. See, the only way they're getting it is not because they're hammering themselves into little pieces here and there, chipping them, like they're using a chisel and a hammer to, undo their concreteness, chopping away, banging away at it. No, it's opening to what it is. So, in other words, there's a saying in the ancient schools that, as the mind perceives, it becomes. Well, if you're looking at a tree, you might then be able to become more of a tree in a manner of speaking, depending on your rate of exchange with the tree, what the tree is and what you are. Well, the isness of a tree is every being. But what does that mean? Like the isness of the ocean, the isness of a pond, the isness of rain, or the elements in general. We are that. We are ordinariness. We are nature. But then, what does it mean to be enlightened in the context of, what it is that needs to be done, or what your karma or your life destiny means? So the openness and devotion to the teacher, not for the self of the teacher, but for what we perceive as the grace and spirit of it, the humor or the madness or the gentleness, so it's kind of like strangely all blended into it. So it's a fierceness, but then it's very gentle at the same time. It's kind of like not there. It's ethereal, it's powerful, and it's something you have to figure out. So it's that. And then ordinarily, certain teachers or deep people can do things other people don't seem to be able to do. So they're in a kind of a certain space, which means then that meditation practice in general is for the purpose of listening, or receiving. So we don't want to limit that to just receiving what everybody's receiving, culture. No. We have to receive what is beyond culture. What is the source of life? What is the source of, let's say, the universe? Who is the source of the universe? And we have to have a connection with that so that we can start to perceive more extendedly into the infinite, which is what we are in potential. And just conceiving of that can bring you peace, the infinite. Space. Hearing. But even though the mind interrupts hearing by way of distraction, there is hearing going on all the time beyond whatever you think, whatever you're doing. The hearing is continuous. That is, we are receptive beings by nature. As feminine, we are yin, always receiving, breathing in, breathing out, yang. Yin, hue, which is like yang, but it's also with the connotation of complete total release. See? Gone. Released and gone. That's also part of this. Already gone. It's also part of it. Okay. So this is the process of what we could be saying is the becoming of the enlightenment. See? The wave of peacefulness. Gentleness, but it's fierceness at the same time. Gentleness gives you more power. See? And developing a sensitivity to receptivity, right, that gives you a better sense of how important discipline is in the process of the recreation of your karma and your programs into that which is more benign, as you recognize, more spiritual in a manner of speaking, and more in tune with the inner side of human nature, not just faces and bodies and noses and ears and hair and clothes and the material side of what we see. And see beyond and through that. We are light beings, and so then try to see people more as light, see what everything is light. Just light. Forms of light. Beings are living forms of light. Potentially enlightened beings, but far from it until they know what that means and open to it for themselves.